Welcome back, folks, to part 2 of Rasputin's Reliquary build from Don Bluth's Anastasia. So, some production notes we've done over the past week are basically working on the skull. We've divided it into 4 parts, and we've shrunken the sword down to basically 75%. The parts are really easy. The plug goes right into the glass. The circular thing goes into the hole. And then the skull goes into the base. And then this part is hard to put on with one hand. It just slides right into the nooks and crannies of it. Now, this thing is pretty frickin' tall. It stands at about 17 frickin' inches, give or take 17 and a half. So for a quick side-by-side comparison, this is it. I cannot get a very good angle on it with the one-handed camera, so apologies. As I was commenting, I thought about just comparing sizes to other things. So you got the phylactery, you got the lava lamp, then you got the regular Mountain Dew 2-liter, and now here's the problem. I see green liquid. Do I dare fill it with Mountain Dew? I was not expecting a burst of inspiration mid-video. I, again, did not consider the fact of dyeing the liquid green. I was originally going to do my initial snow globe mixture with mica powder. Granted, the issue is I've never used mica powder before, so I don't know what the result is going to be, if it's going to really dye the water or if it's just going to add that weird shimmery effect. Because even though it's kind of hard to see on the picture there, you got 2 colors. You got a light green and you got a dark green or a black. This could obviously be good for the light green base, while the darker mica powder might be the good black background or black shimmeries. I was 100% not expecting to have a burst of inspiration mid-video like this, but that's just the creative process for you. Looking at the back image there, which is kind of what I use for coloration, we have 2 colors. We have the light green, and then we got the dark green. It's either going to be a shimmery effect for one of them. Not using Mountain Dew, I feel like the acid content in the Mountain Dew would mess with the silicone seals that I plan to use. I'll show you that in just a second. But still, the idea of dyeing the water green is something I need to consider, and what's going to happen if I do so. Here is the other thing we were working on over the week. It's mostly this stuff down here. I was waiting for that garbage to dry. This is a spare tube that we got. These things came in sets of 2s, and this one seems to have a production error on the top. So ideally, in the thing, it's going to go in like that. Not that I'm going to put this one in there. This one is going to be just a glorified measuring cup. I'm just showing you where the plug was going to go. So I refer to this methodology as the gooping method, where I just add a literal metric ton of silicone and press it on there, and hopefully basically that there will be no raw resin touching any liquid or anything like that. I've already fucked up on this test one right there, so I just gotta be a little bit more careful in the final product. And here is the champion of the day. This is the silicone that I'm using for my gooping method. As you can see right on the container there in bold letters, 100% waterproof permanent bond. So far I've had good luck with it. The only other project I've actually used it on was the Chernobyl snow globe, and that's been about 6 months with no evaporation or leakage. So far it's been holding up. So other people have mentioned that I could use aquarium silicone or sealant in place of this stuff. Honestly, again, this was right there and available from my local hardware store. I didn't have to wait for shipping, even though I might have paid more for this, for the brand name, than if I would have just waited. But again, it was right there. And now for the colorful part. Here we are. We have basically the pigments, the mica powder from eyecandypigments.com. I did purchase this off of Amazon, so I'm starting small with the sampler set. That way I have a few trials and errors, and then hopefully if I need more, I will buy a bigger bottle. I think this one right here is going to be my winner, but the issue is, this is when I didn't consider dyeing the liquid, so if we dye the liquid, this guy right over here might be our winner, or somewhere in between. I don't really know yet. I will need to kind of experiment. And not to tease you guys for part 3, but basically I was all squared up. I was ready to film the mica powder mixing and stuff like that to kind of show you how it would look. Then I just looked at the time. I don't want to try to squeeze it in 5 minutes if it's going to run longer. I would rather just do its own video and just keep all that 10-minute space. So for right now, look forward to part 3. It's going to be the water episode or the mica powder episode.